Hey everyone, Elizabeth Scala here from Living Sublimely Well, here for our live yoga class. I'm going to chat with you before we get started. So, as usual, we are going to engage in a facilitated yoga practice. I will be your facilitator. I cannot see you, you can only see me. So, I cannot correct or modify as it's impossible for me to see what you're up to. First, if you have any restrictions placed upon you from a healthcare professional or medical provider, honor those, listen to those, do what's within your realm of practice, and more importantly than that, honor yourself, honor your body, listen to your body and follow its needs. If you experience sharp, shooting, intense, fiery pain, back out of a pose, stand or sit or lie down wherever we are, and breathe quietly till the next posture. If you experience numbness or tingling, same. Listen to your body, back out of the posture, and wait for us for the next pose. Now, a little bit of tension, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of dis-ease or discomfort is okay. We are stretching the body, and the goal of yoga practice is to feel the body in these postures. I have all my props with me, my blocks, my straps, my blanket for a bolster. I've even brought a bolster today. So we may, we may not use all of the props. It's always a benefit to have them handy. Props support us in practice and allow us to get into the postures perhaps further, perhaps deeper, or they allow us to get into the postures correctly if we are, for example, in my current situation, I'm unable to straighten this arm. And so I use the yoga block to get me into that posture, a posture if I need my arm to reach somewhere. So have your props, honor your body, and we will begin. I'd like us to begin standing today. So come to the center of the tip of your mat, or even just standing posture wherever you are. Let's go ahead and pause. Our feet are hip width distance apart. Go ahead and lift the toes, allowing one toe, pinky, ring, middle, pointer, big toe to come to the ground, fully planted to the surface of the floor, the mat beneath you, feeling the four corners of the foot. Slight bend in those knees, allowing the hips to tilt forward, tucking the tail. You can allow your arms to come to the sides, dangling a little bit away from the body, palms faced forward. Go ahead and bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then release the shoulders down the back. Tucking the chin, you can keep your eyes open or you can gently close them for a moment. Standing and breathing tall in mountain posture. Feeling grounded, connected, supported in this moment. Go ahead and inhale the arms, palms facing up, overhead, hands come to touch, and then exhale, bringing the palms together, hands come to heart center. Pausing here, setting an intention for your practice today. Perhaps a word, a feeling, a desire, a short phrase, a mantra. Go ahead and set that intention quietly to yourself. Go ahead and release the hands back at your side, opening your eyes if they were closed. Let's go ahead and take the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, still slightly bending those knees and just turning at the hips and shoulders. So the bottom half of the body is not moving, it's stationary, just twisting the hips. And with the movement of the hip, letting the arms wrap around the body. Warming up in this willow tree pose. Continuing to breathe. And then allowing the movements to become smaller. The arms slow. Coming back to neutral, to stillness. So bring those feet back to hip width distance apart, slight bend in our knees. Let's go ahead and inhale the shoulders up and exhaling them down. You can bend at the knees as well. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhaling them down. Dipping down and rolling shoulders. Warming up. Waking up the body, cultivating energy. Going the other direction if you choose. Inhaling those shoulders forwards and exhaling down. Let's bring our arms out to the side, opening the arms up wide. Inhaling, opening the chest, sending the gaze to the heavens, arching the tail. And then exhale, bringing forearms together, rounding the back, chin comes to chest. So opening those arms wide, arching the lower back, sending the shoulder blades down. Exhaling, rounding the back, chin comes to chest, forearms touch. Follow your breath with this spinal breathing. Last time, coming back to center. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and move the body, moving the spine side to side. So inhaling an arm up and exhale, leaning over. With the inhale, lift to center. Exhale, lower that arm. Other side. Inhaling the arm up. Exhale, leaning. Inhale, lifting that arm. Exhaling down. Following your breath. One more time each side. Inhaling up. Exhaling, lean. Last time. Coming back to the middle. Beautiful. We're going to take some modified sun salutations now. We'll go slow for the first one and pause at each posture so that you can get comfortable with the sun salute. And then we'll flow through a couple of sun salutations. I am going to turn a bit to the side so you can see what I'm talking about when I say flat back or those sorts of things. Give me 1 second. I think there is a wasp in here. Well, I see the wasp, but I cannot. All right, I'll keep my eye on that as well. All right, feet are hip width distance apart, slight bend in those knees, coming to the center of your mat. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and with an exhale, arms are coming out to the side, leading with the chest, flat back down to a forward fold. Hang out here in the forward fold for a moment, taking a breath, letting the arms dangle, or perhaps taking a hold of opposite elbows with opposite hands, your preference. Just breathe here and letting that lower back release. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lift the chest and shoulders flat back. Exhale, lower down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lifting the shoulders flat back. Exhaling the hands down to the forward fold. This time with the inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, lift the body. Hands come up overhead, exhaling to heart center. So as I said, we'll go through this a little bit more quickly, moving through the flow. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, separate the palms, lead with the chest, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lift the shoulders, flat back. Exhale the hands down to the forward fold. Sweeping your hands out to the sides, lifting up. Inhaling, hands up overhead. Exhaling to heart center. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, forward fold with a flat back, leading with the chest. Inhale, hands come to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out wide overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale the hands up overhead, gazing up. Exhaling, forward fold, leading with the chest, flat back. Inhale, hands come to shins, lift those shoulders. Exhale, hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping up, arms up overhead. Exhaling to heart center. One more time. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, leading with the chest. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lift the shoulders, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, head hangs heavy. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhaling those hands to heart center. Beautiful. Take a moment to catch your breath. Notice the energy. Allow your hands to drop to the sides. You're standing in mountain posture as we started. Feet are hip width distance apart. Slight bend in those knees, tucking the tail, palms face forward, dropping the shoulders down the back, lifting the chest, chucking the chin. Breathing here in this moment. All right, from the mountain posture, let's go ahead and sweep our arms out overhead. And with an exhale, we're going to take chair pose. So sending the hips back as if you're sitting in a chair, arms and chest lifted out in front, feet strong, grounded to the floor. Inhale, lifting out, dropping those hands. We'll do that again 2 more times, strengthening our knees. So feet are hip width distance apart. Go ahead and inhale those arms up overhead. And then exhale, sitting back, bringing those hips back, over knees over heels, arms out in front, lifting the chest, dropping the shoulders. Keep breathing, breathing to where you feel the sensations. Exhale, coming back up, letting those arms drop. Last time, feeling that heat. Inhale the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, sitting back in your chair, sending the hips back. Strong core, lift the chest, dropping the shoulders. Breathing into the pose, feeling sensations, sending breath to the body. Inhaling, let those arms drop. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake it out. Shake out an arm, shake out a leg. Just giving the body a good shake as we move into some warrior postures to open our chest. All right. Go ahead and come to the center of your mat. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So one foot forward and send the other foot back. The back foot, the heel is lifted. The toes are pointed forward. The hips are square to the top of the mat. That front knee is over that front ankle. Bring hands to hips, to heart center, or if you like, even up overhead, gazing between the hands. Breathing here. Warrior one. Sending breath to the body. If the hands are lifted, go ahead and drop them down back to the hips. And we're going to plant that back heel and turn it inward so that the front heel is drawing a line, imaginary line, to the middle of that back foot. The back foot is now fully planted to the floor. That front knee remains over the front ankle. And go ahead and lift your arms to a T. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders down. Warrior two. Breathe here, gazing over those front fingertips. Go ahead and drop the front forearm to that front bent thigh and cartwheel the other arm up in front of the body, gazing up at the elbow. This arm is straight up overhead. Breathing here. Go ahead and cartwheel the arm back up, lifting arms to warrior two. And then bring the back hand to the outer thigh, lifting that front arm up overhead, gazing up towards the sky. Dancing warrior. Opening that chest. Keep breathing. Go ahead and bring your hands back into warrior two. Lift that front knee. Pigeon toe, so turn both toes towards the long side of the mat. Heels are out wide, hands coming to your hips. Lift the chest and leading with the chest, forward folding into a wide-legged forward fold. You can bring your hands to the block, to your mat, or even grasping opposite elbows with opposite hands and letting their head hang heavy. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. Letting your neck release, letting the head hang heavy. Keep breathing, breathing into the back side of the body. Wherever your hands are, let's go ahead and bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, leading with the chest, back up to standing. We're going to take the other side. So, turning towards the opposite side of your mat, the other foot Both feet are facing the top of the mat, lifting that back heel. The back leg is straight, bending that front leg, knee over ankle. Hips are square to the top of the mat. You can stay right here with hands on the hips. You can bring your hands into prayer posture or lifting arms up overhead, slight back bend, gazing up towards the sky. Breathing into the posture. Go ahead and bring your hands together and back towards those hips. The lifted heel will now be planted to the mat and turned inward. So that front leg that is bent, that front heel, draws a line straight back to the inward, the inseam of your back foot. The back leg is straight, the front leg is bent. Arms come to a T. Go ahead and bring those shoulders up and then exhale, slide them down the back. Warrior two. Both arms are straight as much as you're able. Keep breathing. Go ahead and take that front forearm and rest it on your front thigh, cartwheeling the other arm forward and across your head, lifting it up, gazing up towards the elbow. Side angle. Breathing here. Go ahead and exhale that arm down across the body, coming back up to warrior two. Taking this back hand and letting it rest on that upper outside thigh of the straightened leg. Straighten the front arm up towards the sky, gazing up at the hand. Breathing here, opening that chest. Go ahead and bring the arms back into warrior two. Straighten that front foot, turn the toes inward, taking our hands to our hips, lifting up at the chest, and then exhale, forward folding, again, down to a block, to your mat, or taking hands and grasping opposite elbow. Nodding your head yes, shaking the head no, release that neck and let the head hang heavy. Bringing our hands to our hips with our inhale, leading with the chest, using your core. Bring yourself back up to standing. Go ahead and pigeon toe your feet back together. Let's go ahead and shake these postures out, shaking out that arm, shaking the other arm, giving the leg a shake, the other leg, whole body bounce, shaking it out. Beautiful. All right, let's come down to our mat. So if you need a sip of water, take that. We're going to come down to lying down on our bellies. Doing some postures for opening up our chest. So lying flat on the belly. Tops of the feet to the mat. Hips are square to the mat. You could take your arms and make a little pillow for your head, letting one cheek rest to the side. And just breathe here for a moment, letting ourselves settle in. With your inhale, lifting through the chest, lifting the shoulders, lifting the head, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders, gazing up towards the sky, breathing here. And then exhale, bringing the opposite cheek to the mat. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale through the chest, pressing into the mat with the forearms and hands, fingers spread wide. Exhaling down, opposite cheek to the mat. Taking a breath, pausing for a moment before last time. Using your core, inhaling, lifting the shoulders, lifting the head, bringing the forearms and elbows flat to the mat, pressing those hands into the mat, sending the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the chest, breathing here, and exhaling down. Go ahead and lift your feet off the mat, bending at the knee. Windshield washer your feet from side to side. Bringing the feet to stillness, allowing the feet to drop back to the mat. And then using your hands to press ourselves up, moving into child's pose. So knees come mat width distance apart, big toes touching behind us, sending our hips back towards our feet. If you need to slide a blanket here between the calves and the thighs, you might do so. And then letting the chest melt into the mat. The forehead comes to the mat, to stacked fists, to a block. Make sure the forehead comes in contact with something. Extend the arms out overhead, pressing the fingers into the mat. Palms are wide. Go ahead and breathe. With your inhale, lifting yourself up, and then scooching over to your side hip. We're going to come lying down on our backs. I've seen my wasp friend exit the room. I just want to make sure he doesn't join me again as we're lying on our backs. Okay. Go ahead and bring the feet, soles of the feet to the mat, bending those knees. And bring the heels in as close as you can to your sits bones, to your buttocks. So bringing the heels in very close. Knees are touching. Keep the knees tight. In fact, if you worry that your knees will flop open, bringing a block, squeezing that block between the knees. We're going to lift our hips and we're going to move into bridge. We're not going to do the full, but we're just going to lift our hips a few times. And if you need a block to assist you, I'll show you that as well. So again, keeping those heels close to the buttocks, knees are tight, sucking those knees together. Hands are at your hips or lying at your side here. With your inhale, lifting the hips off the floor. And with your exhale, you can lower down. If you prefer to use the block for an assist, you will not inhale and exhale every time with us. You'll inhale and you can scoot your block underneath your hips and rest there. So that's an option. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lowering. 2 more times. Inhale, lift those hips, keeping those knees zip tight. Exhale down. This last time, we're going to stay and breathe. So inhale, lifting the hips. And in fact, you can clasp the hands together if you like, bringing your shoulders underneath your back. Keep pressing the hips towards the sky. Knees are zipped together. Keep breathing. Exhale, lower down. Wonderful. Allow your knees to drop from side to side. Coming to stillness. Let's let one leg extend long. And with our bent knee, scoot your hips towards the bent knee so that you're rolling onto the hip opposite of the bent knee. Roll over on that hip and allow the bent knee to come towards the floor, crossing that straightened leg. Arms can come out to a T, or you could take the hand that's near the bent leg and place it on the outside of the thigh, up to you. Taking your gaze away from the bent knee and out over the fingertips of the extended arm. Keeping both shoulders pinned to the mat, allowing the chest to open, twisting here and breathing. With your inhale, bringing that knee back up towards the sky. Rolling back onto your backside, adjusting yourself so that the hips are square, switching legs. The leg that is bent in the air, scooch those hips towards the bent knee, rolling over on the opposite hip, bringing that bent knee across the straight leg. Your hands can come to a T, and perhaps you take the hand that's near the bent leg and rest it on the thigh. That's up to you. And perhaps you take your head and turn it away from the bent knee, gazing out over your fingertips. Both shoulders are pinned to the mat, allowing that chest to open, twisting and breathing into the body. With your inhale, bringing that knee back up towards the sky, adjusting yourself so you're lying flat on both hips, fully flat to the mat, letting both legs extend long. Windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Just letting the feet sort of dangle from one direction to the next, allowing our ankles to get some rotation here. And then point and flex the toes. Let's do a stick pose. So lying here flat on our backs, both shoulders pinned to the floor, our hips are to the floor, buttocks, backs of our legs. We're going to lift our arms up overhead. And go ahead and point the toes really tall and long, reaching the fingers as long as you can. Pencil straight. You're like a stick. Every muscle is tight. And then exhale, release, letting yourself relax. We'll do that 2 more times. Taking a breath, and let's go ahead. Inhale, reaching the fingertips long, reaching those toes long. Every muscle is tight. A sharpened pencil, a fallen stick. And exhale, letting every muscle relax, release. Resting for a moment, taking a couple breaths before the final time. With our inhale, go ahead and reach long with the fingertips, pointing those toes. Every muscle reaches in opposite direction from toes to fingertips. Tight, tight, tight. Exhale, releasing, letting the arms come back down at our sides. Maybe shaking out a leg, shaking out a foot, noticing if the body is cramping up anywhere. Do you need some water, some hydration? All right, so we're going to move into Shavasana. But before we do, I wanted to suggest some props for you if you wanted to get some opening across the chest. So you can lay in Shavasana just like this, pinky toes flopping out towards the corners of the mat, hips, buttocks pressed into the mat, shoulders down with the arms extended. You can lay just like that if that's what you choose. Or perhaps you would like to explore using some props to allow for some chest opening. So either a block, some type of bolster, or foam roller, if you have any of these props like this, or even a folded blanket that you have folded in accordion style can be used. Okay? So I would suggest finding what works for you, but I'm going to cue us with the blocks. So coming back, lying down, bringing the block to the middle back. So it's a line, it's following the spine, but it starts in the middle back. You adjust this as you need, and then taking the other block and just allowing it to kind of come to a T so that your head is gently resting on that other block. So adjust your blocks as needed, and then allow the arms to flop open wider into a T than you would if you were in typical Shavasana with your arms down at your side. So opening those arms into a T. Go ahead and get yourself situated. Allow those pinky toes to flop towards the corners of the mat. Lift the hips and tuck the tailbone. Palms are faced up. Go ahead and close the eyes. Bringing the attention to the breath. Breathing here and just allowing the mind to wander, to float, to feel the body. Prayer for the Great Family by Gary Snyder. Gratitude to Mother Earth, sailing through night and day, and to her soil, rich, rare, and sweet. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to plants, the sun-facing, light-changing leaf and fine root hairs, standing still through wind and rain, their dance is in this flowing spiral grain. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to air, bearing the soaring swift and the silent owl at dawn, breath of our song, clear spirit breeze. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to wild beings, our brothers, teaching secrets, freedoms, and ways, who share with us their milk, self-complete, brave, and aware. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to water, clouds, lakes, rivers, glaciers, holding or releasing, streaming through all, our bodies, salties, seas. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to the sun, blinding, pulsing light through trunks of trees, through mists, warming caves where bears and snakes sleep. He who wakes us. In our minds, so be it. Gratitude to the great sky, who holds billions of stars, and goes yet beyond that, beyond all powers and thoughts, and yet is within us. Grandfather Space, the mind is his wife, so be it. Go ahead and begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Gradually allowing those movements to grow bigger. Rolling yourself over to one side. Pressing yourself up into a seated posture. For a moment, sitting here in stillness, recalling that intention from the start of your practice. Silently expressing gratitude to yourself for taking this time for love and care. Go ahead and let the hands dangle at your sides with your inhale, palms facing up, gazing towards the sky, hands come together. Exhaling, bringing your palms into heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me today. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste, yogis. Well, thank you all. It's a joy. I purely enjoy sharing this practice with you week after week. Thanks for tuning in, even to the replay afterwards. If you have comments about the postures or how you've felt after practice, please leave those below. Let me know how you're doing. If you have questions or requests for future stretches, again, leave those in the comments. And if you'd like to connect further, learn more about my private practice, please visit my website, which is my name, elizabethscala.com. Until next time, everyone, be well.